Good evening, class. Tonight we have a special feature. We are going to look at, I think it's Beast Wars 2, or Beast Wars Neo, I'm not sure which, but anyways, Cybertron Commander Leo Convoy. He's kind of like the head Autobot guy that we're going to look at. We'll have a quick look at the packaging, and then we're going to open him up. But there we've got a picture of what he's going to look like in robot form. It's a CGI picture, CG image. On the side here, if we can look, we've got a picture of what the toy actually looks like, and a whole bunch of symbols I don't really understand. Then on the back, I guess we can see some of the other characters that would have been in the show. I'm guessing that's Megatron of some description. I don't know who these two other guys are. Prime. Oh, I can't remember what his name was. Was it Clawjaw from Beast Wars? I don't know, I guess he got a character in this show. Some other stuff. Look at, they have points. How awesome would that be to get points from Transformers and maybe get something cool for it? And on the bottom, we've got some other characters. There's Megatron. That was Baboon, but I think he's called Apache in Neo or Beast Wars 2. Plus some of the other guys. Look at that, they had a play set. And there we've got a picture of the big man himself. So that's enough of the packaging. We're going to open this up and we're going to have a look at Beast Wars 2, or Beast Wars Neo, Leo Convoy. So back in a minute. Okay, we're back. We're still looking at Leo Convoy, or Leo Prime, as I guess he's sometimes known. So have a look at the line form here. I hate to do it to you, but I think we're going to have to do this in two parts. It's going to take me a little while to go through everything from the box, which we just finished looking at, and then we're going to look at the figure in line mode and some of the stuff he comes with, and then we're going to show some of his features in lion mode, and then to try to transform this thing and cram it all into, what, 10, 11-ish minutes. It's just not going to work. I'm afraid I just do not go that fast. So we're going to have to do this in two parts. So we'll back up Leo Prime there. Some of the other things that he came with, we've got some missiles, because, you know, shooting missiles is more or less a standard, right? We get a half dozen of them. I don't think he has 6 missile launchers, but he has 6 missiles, which is actually good, because it means I can lose a couple of these and it won't be that big a deal. I think this is kind of a customer comment card. Probably going to somewhere in, I'm guessing, Japan. I don't know, I don't read it. But anyways, there's that. We have some very not helpful instructions. Although they're about as helpful as, you know, the instructions for the North American Transformers. So the fact that I can't read the writing doesn't mean anything. We all just look at the pictures anyway, right? But we can see some of his stuff there. Yeah, okay, I'm done with that. And then, this is actually one thing that I think is a little bit neat. We have the featured product, or the extra figures in the set that comes in this little poster booklet thing. Just have a quick look at that. So there's Leo Prime, Leo Convoy. I'm guessing that's what? Magmatron, Megatron, Galvatron. Look at that, he's got guns on his knees. There's Magnaboss, Tripredacus, and I believe that's what, Piranacon? A repaint from Gen 1 Seacons. Some of the smaller pieces of them. Somewhere, let's look on the other side. Check this out. They have Trypticon. They had Trypticon in this wave. How cool is that? Plus some other figures. I'm not going to spend too much time on most of these because I don't really care. But look at that. They have Man-Terror. That is awesome. I wonder if he made it onto the show. That would almost make it worth trying to find and watch. No, probably not. But anyways, that's our little product catalog. It's just kind of neat looking at this stuff. Just kind of see some of the figures that they had over there, like this little octopus thing. That's crazy talk. But anyways. Okay. Enough of that stuff. This is probably more what we're more interested in. The lion himself. So Leo Convoy. The mold is excellent. You can see all the detail they made to put in the hair, the fur for the mane, and all throughout his body. And his tail, even the back of his tail is kind of, well, it's flat, but it's supposed to be kind of bushy-like. Now, like most Beast Wars figures, there are little bits of the robot that we can see. Like back here, we can see these are clearly going to be the knees for the robot mode. We got some of the robot bits here. Underneath, of course, if we look, which is cheating, we can see clearly the chest of this form of Optimus Prime. But I guess that's cheating for the most part, but you know what? It's a decent looking lion for what it is. And the first feature we'll look at, there's this little button on his head. And if we look at his face and we press that, we go rawr, rawr, grr, arg, grr, right? But even the face has an amazing amount of detail. I don't know how well the camera can pick it up, but you can see the spots on his face where his whiskers would be. And it's, again, all the lines here for the fur. And even the eyes look pretty good. So again, it looks really good. And then inside we can actually see, you can't see it too well there, but when we press the button, he's got some teeth in there too, which is kind of nice. Kibbles and bits and bits. Anyways, do they make kibbles and bits for cats? I don't know. Anyways. So some of the other features. Now I should warn you as well that as I try to show the features that are all more or less hidden within the main, the figure's going to fall apart. There's not going to be much way to avoid that. But first, and maybe easiest, we have these claws that pop out. They're on springs. So in case the claws that his lion have were not big enough, we've got a couple of extra ones that he can pop out and rake people in the face with, which is pretty cool. So we've got those. Actually, while I'm doing this, one thing that's kind of neat to point out is that most of the features or weapons or whatever that he has in the lion form, he also has in robot form. He can use them both. Now the next one, this is going to be a little more interesting. There's this top piece here, and if we press that down, turn the figure this way, we've got fold-out missile launchers from his mane. Now on this part of the mane as well, there are missile launchers, and there's actually a trigger on the inside of the arm to pop them out, but to kind of save me a little bit of time and the fact that the figure will probably come apart, I'm just going to pop them open this way. So now we have Kimba the White Lion packing heat. We're not going to do too much with the missiles again because, let's face it, you've seen it once, you've seen it probably a million times, but we can load all these up in here. So, you know, you think, hey, cool, it's a white lion, then bazam, he's shooting the crap out of you with missile launchers. How crazy is that? Now, obviously, the missiles won't fold back in. Whoops. Especially since I seem to lose them as I try to anyway. So we can put all this back together. And the last thing we can do, it's kind of goofy. Now, just for the sake of trying to keep things out of the way, I'm going to fold his arms backwards. May not need to, but it'll just make things a little bit easier. I can pop out this part of his mane, one here on the left side. There's a small piece up top, you can pop up, and then here on the other side, I'm holding it awkward, oh, we can switch it down now. We can see it rotates a little bit. It's got kind of a helicopter effect going on here. And what we can do is there's this one little red button up here. If I hold on to him, see if I can get a better view of it. When we press it, yeah, his mane spins. I don't know if it's kind of like a cattle catcher kind of thing, if he's trying to swat the flies, if he's going to just haul ass at full tilt and just cut people down with this. I don't know. I don't know. It's kind of funny, really. I don't know why they put this in here. But anyways, there we have it. And I think I just popped one of his arms off. Yep. As I said, once I start goofing around with this stuff, it's going to fall apart. So, we can put all this stuff back. And we have, once again, a cute little white lion. That's Leo Convoy. So, I think that's going to be the end of our first half. I would say class dismissed, and I would give a grade, but we're not going to yet, because we're only halfway through. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a short break. So we finished looking at the lion, and we looked at some of the other paraphernalia it came with. We're going to transform this sucker. And we had to separate this into two videos. We had an intermission in our lesson, because transforming this figure is a total pain. If there's one downfall of this figure, it's the difficulty in trying to transform it. There's really one spot where it gets to be tough. So let's see if we can have a go at this. We're going to fold out the legs. The lower half is actually relatively easy. Just twist the legs around, which, let's face it, you know, hind legs on a four-legged animal becoming the legs of the robot. Nothing too terribly new there. Even the little heels on the feet. Look at that. In that respect, we're halfway done. We got the lower half of Leo Convoy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust my camera a little bit. And we're going to tackle this part. This part, you know, I don't care what anyone else thinks. It's a total pain, but we'll do it. So I'm going to pop all this stuff out of the way. And it's really just to get it out of the way. Same with the arms. We're going to fold these down. We're going to pull the chest plate down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this side piece, or this, I guess the top, we're going to turn it sideways, and we're going to turn the whole thing over. But 90 degrees-ish, so that way it's all facing the front. And this is where, actually sorry, I got one step first. We pull open the side and we can flip up the head of Optimus Prime, or sorry, Leo Convoy. Let's get these missiles out of my way too. Okay. So there's his head. You can see that a little bit. We're just about there. This is the tricky part. And if you've ever seen another review, or if you own this figure and you've transformed it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We're going to extend the arms a little bit. What we're going to do is we're going to put the chest piece, maybe I'm going to pop this top part down a little bit, and these little bars that connect the arms, we have to get them lined up with the white pieces here, and on this shoulder it's going to be lined up with the gray piece. And if it all looks hunky-dory, which I think it does, what we're going to do is we're just going to apply a little bit of extra force. And if I have it all lined up properly, it'll all just kind of snap, and that'll make us happy because that means we've done it right. But it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to do this quite so easily on the first try. Nuts. There we go. Did you hear that snap? That means we did it. Now you're thinking, oh my god, evil professor, we're only about 3 minutes in, and you said it was really hard, and you did it really quickly, well, relatively quickly. Well, let me tell you, you didn't see me working away at this for about 20 minutes practicing. Okay, that's right. Evil Prof practices this stuff because it could be a disaster otherwise. So that was the hardest part. Snapping the shoulder part into place is still relatively tough. It took me a long time to figure out that's what I had to do in order to have the figure. If you don't, the shoulders won't sit right and it'll be a mess. So if you have this figure or you're thinking about buying it, that's probably the main trick to transforming him, is popping those shoulders into place. So there we have him. So, figure himself, let's put these, maybe put the missiles back down. Nah, they kind of obscure his head, don't they? Okay, I'll put those back up. Try to anyway. Whoops, I went the wrong way. There we go. Good enough. So there he is. So his color scheme is now a little bit closer to what we expect from an Optimus Prime figure. He's red, he's got some of the silver and the blue accents. The head is definitely Optimus Prime, which is good. Now the white we've got on the shoulders, we've got on a little bit of the legs, accented by silver, and the claws. Excuse me, the white is the back is all white. Oh, that sounded horrible. We've got his tail there. Go away, kitty. And, sorry. So, again, color scheme, you know what, more or less like an Optimus Prime. Obviously, though, we've got some of the white and the gold from the lion still here. In terms of articulation, well, his head can turn pretty much all the way around. Now, the shoulders can go up. They are ball jointed, but with some of the kind of shoulder pads that he has, they don't really go all that far. We could probably mess around with it a little bit. Now, the elbow, we've got a joint here, and it's attached to a ball joint on the inside. That's more for the transformation, but it does give us a little more articulation. The wrist, unfortunately, does not rotate, but maybe that's a good thing, because that would make it nearly impossible to put it back into beast mode, but it does go up. And we can see the little hole there for the peg in his beast mode, and we can see that obviously he can hold something there. Same thing with the other side. The waist, I think we already saw, it can pretty much go all the way around, right? We can rotate the thighs, but I'm not going to do it too much because they're pretty stiff. We've got a double piece, or 3 pieces here, double joint for the knee, which is nice. The ankle can rotate all the way around, can move up and down, and we've got this piece at the back which can move up and down too if we so desire. Now, another thing I should point out, he is a Maximal, or what, a Cybertron. And if we open this thing, we got I got what, a hidden compartment. Maybe that's his spark chamber. Maybe it's supposed to be the Matrix, I'm not sure. And we've got that little sticker that if we put a little bit of heat to, can you see that? Yep, he is in fact a Maximal, or maybe in this case a Cybertron, instead of a Destron, or a Predacon, or whatever the allegiances go in that show. I'm not 100% certain. So in this form, we say we can do basically all the same features that he had before. So if we look, he's got the attack claws. We can flip forward the lion claw, and we can pop that out. So he can still rake people in the face in robot mode, which is nice, because we want to be able to do that. We'll put that away. Same thing with the other side, right? He's got the missile launchers on his hands. Now, I said there was a trigger before. We can see it there, and if you push that forward, the missile launchers flip out. See if we can do that maybe on the other side so you can see it a little better. Come on. There we go. So he does have the guns that he's got there. And again, we could put missiles in those, but I think we're going to skip on that, because we've seen it before, something similar. Now, the shoulder, the big lion shoulder here, which does make him, he is actually pretty top heavy, I have to say. We've got the missiles up here, the missile launchers, so he can still, you know, I guess turn sideways and shoot. I wonder if you can see out of those eyes when he's in robot form. But the other thing we can do, if you put these back down, and we kind of see if we can get his arm out of the way, and we fold all this stuff out, we can still do, was it like a hurricane attack? I don't remember what it's called, but I think I remember hearing something about a hurricane attack or a tsunami attack. And he can do the same thing, which I guess if he turns his right shoulder towards the enemy, he can blow them away or cut them down. I don't know. I don't know if he uses it in the show. I kind of hope not. But anyways. Those are pretty much, I think, all of his gimmicks. I think we've got everything covered. Now, am I going to grade this figure? Yes, I am. You know what? This figure, it's packed full of features. It is a pain to transform. Especially that one part. But it does look cool. I think he just looks awesome. He's one of my favorite Optimus Primes. Probably because he's so rare, but also just because I think he just looks awesome. So if I'm going to rate this one, you know what? This Optimus Prime gets an A. He's got some decent posability to him. He looks like he could be pretty badass. And he's got lots of cool features that we can play with. So, as I said, this Leo Prime, I keep calling him Optimus, Leo Prime gets an A. Now, in terms of trying to get a hold of this figure, I really don't know. The copyright on the box, and it's printed somewhere on the figure as well, it's 1998. Okay, so already this figure's over 10 years old. So trying to find one now is probably going to be tough. I don't know. I don't think there's ever been a North American release of this figure. I got this one off of eBay many, many moons ago. I couldn't tell you how long ago or how much it cost. But it is excellent, and it's a very good addition to my Optimus Prime collection, because that's what I collect more or less the most. But trying to find it and how much it would cost, I'm sorry, I couldn't help you. I suppose a quick look on eBay would probably let us know. But you're probably not going to find too many of them. So if you can grab one and you like Optimus Prime, yeah, I'd say pick it up. It's nice. It's a little bit unique, because there's not too many of them over on this side of the ocean. And he is pretty cool. So, I think that's going to wrap up our two-part lesson for looking at Beast Wars 2 or Beast Wars Neo, Leo Convoy. Thank you very much. Have a good night, and class is dismissed.